So one thing I've come to realize about people who struggle with commitment, and not necessarily in the sense of cheating or infidelity, but more so along the lines of in the grand scheme of things, such as life. Like say, for example, some placements that tends to come up in a birth chart where I know that commitment may be an issue is 14 degrees. So wherever I see that placement in someone's birth chart, I know that they're prone to vacillate. And they'll often find themselves fluctuating between wanting something and for some reason not being able to commit to it. So while 14 degrees, that placement really rules over either a series of unfortunate events or breaks in commitment, it's really a marker for by any means necessary. Like that's how you navigate that. Because technically things can always be out of our control and subject to that. But the art of navigating those situations is having resilience. It's having the bandwidth to navigate those circumstances that are basically unfortunate. It's when the ball rolls, like you choose to go after it nonetheless. It's understanding that for what you want, you have to be committed to some degree. And on the other end of the spectrum, while these people may struggle with commitment, they're the ones that can have the highest disposition for being loyal. On one hand, they're not going to stay in circumstances that do not serve them. They truly understand the art of knowing when to F off and leave. They tend to have like a high sense of self-worth when it comes to being in places or being around people or even just dealing with certain things. They truly know when to leave. And because of that, they can find themselves in repeated cycles of wondering if, damn, did I give up too soon? Did I not work through it enough? And in worst case scenarios, they'll find themselves, if you leave a lesson too early, you're subject to running right back into it in another timeline, in another way. So for people with this placement, the key to being able to commit is finding something that you can truly be dedicated to. You have to be able to trust how you feel and honor that. You might struggle to commit, but for the thing that you want, you're never unsure. Listen to me. You might struggle to commit and find your mind running in circles and going back and forth, but for the thing that you really want, you're always sure about it. And if you vacillate in those regards when you have it, it's really a result of you wondering, how can I sustain it? Or sometimes the shadow parts of you may come up and wondering if, am I enough for this? Am I enough to hold this? Will I eventually lose it? It's also being afraid of it leaving you, because what happens when you no longer want to leave a situation? Now you're worried about the circumstances no longer working in your favor. So I say this all to say, you might struggle with commitment, but you'll also find that you can be very loyal and faithful and devoted to a process for something that you truly do want and value. So, and if anyone struggles in this particular area, I have that placement, check out my service options. Maybe a karmic evaluation might be ideal for you. But for anyone else, I'm hoping check this area of your chart. What comes up for you? Let me know, comment below.